We're live. Hi, everybody.
Hi there, and
Yeah.
thanks, regular viewers tuning in there. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for watching. And in advance, I want to also thank those people who watch it in replay. We appreciate you all as well. And so I'm just looking at the comments, seeing people saying hi. Hi, everybody. Good to see you. Okay, so Lena, I know you're a little under the weather with a cold. I was last night. I said, I don't know. I'm hoping I'll be on with Lena tomorrow, but I don't know. So I slept until like 10 o'clock this morning, and I feel like
Right.
a woman. So I'm sending you healing vibes.
Thank you. And I've got my ginger tea.
Perfect. Perfect. You got all you need then. So what are we looking at this week?
Well, I think we have to start with China, don't we, Erica?
Well, let's start at the very beginning where Trump got on his plane and just to sort of, I don't know, get everybody in the mood, he had a meal. And the meal looked like it was some sort of beef. I didn't see any vegetables, but anyway, beef and a spring roll. And then there were there were fortune cookies. And the fortune cookie, when it opened, said, "Welcome to Air Force One." I'm pretty sure that's not a fortune, but we'll let that go. The other thing I know about the beginning of this trip is that President Xi was not there to welcome the contingent of Trump and sons and billionaires that he brought with him. Melania stayed home, I guess, for this visit.
That is massive in itself.
Yeah.
Right. This is the second time it's happened. Where did it happen recently? He arrived somewhere and there was no one there. But this is becoming a pattern, and I think world leaders are talking behind the scenes because they know what he wants is to be courted and feted.
Right.
And so having zippity-doo-dah there on arrival.
Yeah.
And it's responding to the disrespect.
Right.
Because the Trump tribelet are behaving like it's a family holiday.
Right.
Right?
Well, family holiday / business trip where they can make money.
Business trip with the oligarchs.
Yeah.
And nothing to do with the international arena that is in crisis, impacting 147 countries. No. It's all about us.
Right.
And I think that's amazing.
Well, I've heard that so far. Yeah, exactly. Somebody said fortune cookies are not even something that they eat in China. Well, he has everything. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
I'll leave his culinary habit. I don't want to make myself sick before dinner.
No. And apparently, I was listening to a Korean commentary on this, South Korean commentary, and they said China hasn't prepared in the usual lavish way.
Right.
It would for a high-powered delegation. And it's not just sort of making a point. They were not given real information. They didn't know who was coming. Right. So therefore, you can't actually write out an agenda for the 3 days or something. This one will be talking to that one. This one will be talking to that one, because they didn't even have the courtesy to say who was coming.
Well,
and so it's like someone turning up at your house, unannounced, and then going, by the way, I've got 6 relatives in the car. That'll be okay, won't it?
That's right.
We're just popping in for 3 days.
Right. That's right.
It's rude.
Right. Okay. So we know that, we can hypothesize certainly that one reason he went is because he has no friends to play with. Nobody in the world likes him. Nobody, he blew it with the Saudis. So he's looking for a power player that will be his friend. It is not going to be China. Listen, China, they are not stupid, those people over there. And they apparently, I just read an article that they're in talks with Iran to give them weapons, to sell them weapons. So much for the felon thinking that he was going to get China on side. I don't think that's going to happen.
No. So it's just this extravagant bit of nonsense
Right.
Elon will be backpedaling madly because he has a lot of factories in China, as does Tim Cook from Apple, who's there, etc., etc.
Right.
They've always done the capitalist thing, which is chase the cheaper labor. So
Right.
they've been in China for a very long time. The problem for Elon, and it's already happening in Australia, Chinese BYD vehicles are selling like hotcakes here
Oh,
instead of Teslas. They're
well,
smaller, they're better equipped, they're safer, they're
good.
cheaper. Everything about them is better.
Right. I think the takeaway from this trip will be what you talk about all the time. We both do the reordering in real time of the world stage. And I think it will be very clear that in this relationship, it is not the United States that has the upper hand at all. So,
No. And even before they went, that wasn't the case because
right,
of the debacle of the Iran war,
right,
and the ridiculous behavior around tariffs. And
right,
so I think the Chinese are putting the bare minimum effort
right.
in to just keep the tap dance going. Trump will return saying it was a mighty victory, China's in my pocket. And who's going to believe that story?
No one. Right. So it's a very short trip.
Very short.
3 or 4 days. He won't even have had time to adjust to any kind of time difference, and he'll be back.
No. Well,
Um,
it doesn't matter for him, does it, Erica? Because he's up all night posting and then sleeps all day during his meetings.
okay, listen, speaking of that, I heard something that gave me hope. The will to live. Okay.
Yes.
This was an article on Substack. If you're not following me on Substack, you need to. It's called In the Company of Cards. I write there once a week. There's a lot of great writing there. And I use tarot, Lenormand, and an African oracle called the Adinkra to look at questions of the day in writing form. But I read an article by Robert Reich. Do you know who
Yes.
that is? Okay, great.
Yes.
Okay. Robert Reich said he was at a dinner recently. And the dinner was with a bunch of Republican bigwigs. And they said there is a plan afoot that they said, most of them said they thought it had a 30% chance of succeeding, of being seen through. One of the guys said that he thought it was more than a 30% chance, but listen to what it is. There would be a meeting of minds between Vance and what's his name? Rubio.
Rubio.
Vance would say to Rubio, listen, I will make you my vice president if we 25th Amendment this guy.
Mm.
Okay. Then they will both go to Johnson and to Thune and get them on board, at which point they will wait until the felon is in Mar-a-Lago, set up a Zoom call with him or some kind of video call, inform him that he is no longer the president. This is perfect to do it in Mar-a-Lago because what's he going to do? He can't get on Air Force One if he's not the president anymore.
Yeah.
And just jettison him. Now, there's a lot of reasons to do this aside from the obvious, but the other one is that this could avoid a big primary fight between Vance and
Rubio
later on. So, I am just living for this to happen. I don't know. They're saying 30%. We'll see.
Yeah, my hesitation with it is Mike Johnson. I think he's the weak link in this. I was going to say conspiracy. Let's just call it a plan. Because I think he has zero courage.
He does have zero courage, but I feel like if he's tag teamed by everybody, including this is the other thing. They said that they would get what's the attorney general placeholder,
Todd Blanche.
Todd Blanche, and they would promise him that he would get the position permanently. And they would also rope in, was it Patel? I think it's Patel. And
Ooh,
I mean, if they can rope them all in, assure them that they will not be fired, that they'll keep their position, Mike Johnson will have no chance, no option but to agree to it.
that's true. But Kash Patel
It was crazy. Oh my God.
is gunpowder and inept. So I think, look, if they do it, it's great that at least it's a circuit breaker. But to promise these people ongoing jobs, Todd Blanche is as bent as a fish-hook.
It is. They all are bent. Every last one.
Totally bent. But Kash Patel, given his role, because it's different being a cabinet member and you might be in charge of this portfolio or that department. Right. But he is FBI, which is all domestic stuff. And the thought of him being secure, as opposed to possibly Trump getting rid of him in 8 weeks' time, the thought of him being there for another 2 years, I don't know if America could survive that.
No, you could not. I mean, there are apparently, they have an attrition rate at the FBI of 700 agents a year who say, okay, I'm going to retire, or this is not for me, or whatever. Do you know that there have now been 2,800 FBI agents gone in 4 months?
Yeah.
A year. So yeah, I mean, ideally he will be gone, but then I hope that they can rope in whoever the next person is and promise him the job. Just sign.
Yeah, see, this is the problem of more inmates running the asylum. I mean, on the one, here's the plus. Sorry, I don't want to be a total downer, because I would be out there with my champagne along with everybody just to see this moment in history where that man is taken out by the 25th. But these crazy and inadequates, who they're going to choose to fill these spaces, is equally terrifying. They also, let's just think for a minute, how would this translate to the voting public who supports them? Would middle-of-the-road Republicans who held their nose and voted for Trump, oh, he'll be good for the economy. The independents who didn't like him, didn't even trust him, but thought, oh, he'll be...
No, could they have a kumbaya moment in the party where we say, they say, the fever dream is gone, he's over, we got rid of him, it's over, and now let us gather together as sane, sensible, which they're not, people, and come back to the fold, and maybe they can, I don't know. You know what? Clearly I'm daydreaming. Clearly.
No, I think they have to be talking about it, Erica. They have to be talking about it because he's clinically beyond it. Like, even if you're a sycophant, he's clinically not up to the job. So they have to be talking about it.
I mean, according to Robert Reich, they had a dinner where they talked about it. I mean, they are talking about it. Whether it turns into anything, I just think we should keep our ears to the ground. And
yes, but I think for them politically, not that I want to defend in any way or endorse a Republican thought, they'd actually be better off doing a private deal with Trump, same Zoom call.
Yep.
We've had this conversation about the 25th Amendment. Do you know what that is? No, what's the 25th Amendment?
That's what it always seems. Exactly.
This is my preferred option.
Yes, I've always
we could go down that route. Mm-hmm. Or, Mr. President, you grovel till the last, you could step aside on health grounds and you stay out of jail. You get to keep the billions you've grifted in the last however many years. They'd be better off him exiting than doing it, I think.
I hope
they don't. I hope they don't take my advice. I hope they do it, and I hope it's a disaster.
I mean, a lot of it is what you say. There is courage lacking in every quarter. So I have always seen it, that scenario that you just described. Did they go to him and they say, it's this or it's this? You pick. It's one or the, and they may still do that. Robert Reich didn't mention that part, but that easily could be part of it.
And I'd love to know if Mike Grinder Johnson, as they call him on IHIB, if he was there, and I bet he wasn't.
No, I'm sure he wasn't. I'm sure he can't be trusted.
I rest my case. They think they can do it, but I think it was George Conway who said, you'll never lose money betting on the spinelessness of Republicans in Congress. And yeah, I don't think he'd defend it ideologically. He just couldn't cope. He can't make a decision. He's not a decisive person, let alone something.
He always says, I haven't heard about that. I haven't read about that. I don't know about that. But that's his stock in trade answer.
Yeah.
But again, if he's triple teamed by Thune and whoever else.
Yes. And they would also know those behind Johnson who are more like-minded to the main group, and they could threaten him.
That's right. He's hanging on. He's hanging on to that speakership by a thread, as it is. Yes. I mean, forget the Democrats. He has not won any goodwill from anyone.
No, because no one respects him.
No, right. So,
but I think the exciting thing in this development. And Robert Reich's very sensible and non-hysterical, so I've got no doubt it's
true. He is.
I think the good thing is they are worried enough to be making these plans. Right. That is a thrill and a relief in itself. Or will they let it roll on to the midterms, which is only 5 minutes away, let him fall over and then implement it? I don't think so, because they want to preserve their own seats now and stuff.
Well, so now we've got the midterms coming up. We know that there's all this gerrymandering coming up, but I also have heard, as of today, things are not necessarily going as smoothly as the Republicans thought they would in certain southern states.
Yes.
That it's not quite as easy, isn't it? I think it's very interesting. And I really look forward to the Democrats being more full-throated in calling this effort of the Republicans exactly what it is, which is an attempt at returning to Jim Crow 2.0. How can it be otherwise? I mean, that is what Trump said. He was asked, and the way that they asked him was very pointed. They said, the reporter said something like, so how do you feel about this gerrymandering effort to get rid of Black and Hispanic districts? That's how they put it. He said, I think it's wonderful. I think it's terrific. So, okay.
No mystery. No mystery with this man.
That's right. So if you would like to be known as one in that number, then keep your mouth shut. And that goes for the Democrats as well as the Republicans. The Democrats their hair should be on fire over this. And I'm talking about the people in the party, the people in the House and the Senate. They should be raising hell over this. Yes. And I really feel like they exactly are. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's me.
Yes.
Maybe I'm expecting too much. But I mean, as someone who has been alive long enough in this country to have seen voting rights come, so I was alive before we got them, the Voting Rights Act, and then seeing them go, I mean, I don't think there's not enough fire for your hair to be on.
Yes. So, and rightfully so. It's just appalling.
I'm looking at the comments. Somebody asked, and I love to, I'm an American, but I do love me some Canada. So somebody wants to know, have we heard anything about what was discussed among Carney, Obama, and Buttigieg when they visited Canada? Do you know anything about that?
Well, we just did a collective read on Hogarth.
Oh, okay.
About that question. And I think they are, well, they're obviously coming up with a post-Trump world.
Right.
The problem for America for the next 2 generations is how the world has been treated. So I think these are uber smart
Hmm.
guys who are all compelling speakers. It's an interesting lineup,
Yeah.
very interesting lineup. And the key to America being accepted again, let's just go through the midterms, hope it's blue, let's hope massive changes, let's hope 2028 goes blue. That's when they need it. And I think the key is Carney, because Canada's literally so close and
Yeah.
symbolic.
Yeah.
And that's where the threat was. If Carney would lead a delegation of thinkers and speakers saying that era is gone, we will now resume relations on some level with the US or something.
Okay.
He's
So
key. That's
I
why I
agree.
think they went to him.
Okay, Carney's key, but guess what else is key? And the jury's out. Will whoever it will be representing the US have developed enough humility to stand back and say, no, that is as it should be. Canada, you are you are the guy in charge. I mean, I think that for an American sensibility, that's really a tough pill to swallow, but it needs to be. So I don't care if we choke on it. We have to
Yes.
swallow that. We have
Yes.
to.
Yes.
Oh,
But I think Obama is famous for reaching across the divide.
yes.
Buttigieg is fantastic in his own sphere and stuff and stuff and stuff. So that's what I think it was about. Whether it'll be enough is another conversation, because the world is seriously upset.
There's a lot more damage that can be done in these next months before that will be a reality. Yeah.
But I find it quite heartening.
It is. It is.
The talk.
Right. Somebody said Stephen Miller, Aaron the hairstyle. I love Aaron the hairstylist because he didn't make fun of me when I cut my hair.
Bless you, Aaron.
He said Stephen Miller would need to go before any legal immigration could continue. Stephen Miller, this is another little thing that we didn't talk about beforehand, apparently is being sidelined.
Yes.
Isn't
I've
that
heard this too. Because he's so reptilian and repulsive, he never had allies, but he never wanted them. Look, it's kind to say he's on the spectrum, right? Like, let's be kind.
Right. That's kind, yeah. We could be evil. I'll go with evil.
Yeah, actually, yes. And so he has carved his political path of hatred and pure racism without looking for allies, even in his own party, right? He's always paddled his own canoe.
Right.
So what does it mean for him to be sidelined? Because he's also not a proper cabinet minister and all of that. He's an advisor. But it does matter. It really, really matters, because what it says is someone is getting back to Trump saying, ICE is not popular, these things are not popular, right?
Right. And Stephen Miller is so strident in his opinion.
Yes.
I think Trump doesn't like that. It's like too much stimulation for him to listen to that.
No, surely. I totally agree with that assessment.
Not that he doesn't agree, but it's too much in his face.
It's stylistic, and Trump doesn't like it.
Yeah.
So I think Susie Wiles still seems to have quite a bit of power, and I think
for a minute, I thought that people were saying that she was going to be on the chopping block, but I don't think so.
No, I don't either. And the money at the moment is on Rubio going next. And it's funny, how could he be ahead of Hegseth or Kash Patel, who are ghastly hoons? We would call them in Australia yobbos. It's like shock jock stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Rubio's much quieter, but he's getting too much camera time
Well,
for
he's
Trump.
considered what do they call him? The adult in the room.
Yeah, which
He's
says
the
how
one that
desperately bad the country
I
is.
think so.
He's
I
a
think so.
highlight.
But you know what? I feel like when I think of Rubio, I think of a seesaw. He could either fall or
Yes,
rise up.
yes, you're
So
exactly
what
right.
does Vance and take the whole enchilada?
Yes,
I think
and that's his plan. I'm sure that's what he is planning.
yeah.
I would have given a lot to know about the Pope's conversation with Marco Rubio.
I heard that it did not go well.
Yeah.
And you can only imagine why. If he went there as a, cradle to grave Catholic, unlike Vance.
Yeah.
So that was, that he understands the protocol. He understands what it means to be in the presence of the Pope. He gets all of that. But he still comes as the sycophant of the felon.
Yeah.
And the Pope is not a fool.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so I think he was meant to go and smooth things over. I don't think that that's what happened. I think that the Pope said, listen, if you're in that camp, whatever
Yes.
comes out of your mouth, I don't want, no, I don't buy it. That's what I
Yes.
think happened.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right, what's next? Oh, I want to spend a little time talking about the missing scientists, and we're going to pull cards on that. But first, I want us to talk about Medicare.
This new moratorium on Medicare, 6
So
months.
for those who don't know, Lena,
Right.
tell them. Oh, you can do it.
Well, it's been announced that new applicants for Medicare, as I understand it, it's just breaking news, there'll be a 6-month cooling off phase. They're looking for Medicare fraud. And so people won't be entitled to Medicare as new applicants for 6 months, particularly those in hospice.
Right.
Have you heard of anything more cruel?
It's not genocidal. It's eugenics. It's eugenics.
Eugenics.
Hopefully they'll just die, and then we save the money, and we don't have to give it out
What's wrong with this idea?
It's
money.
just,
They were going to die anyway, Erica.
Yeah.
This is how these people think.
It's awful. It's just
And
awful.
in terms of the eugenics, it's racism 101 plus, in this case, people being condemned for being poor.
That's right.
Therefore, you're a loser. Therefore, you're not good breeding stock for the next generation.
Well, but remember,
It's obscene.
we're talking not just Medicaid, we're talking Medicare.
Oh,
Medicare is everybody who is over a certain age then becomes eligible for Medicare. You have to sign up for Medicare. You have to do it.
yeah.
But it means that there are people, for example, who don't have any other kind of insurance. Finally, they get Medicare. But now all of a sudden, they reach that age, and now they have to wait 6 months.
Yes.
It's obscene. And, couple that with the way we do healthcare in the first place.
Oh,
I mean, we should be we are the shame of the world in the way that we treat illness and people who are in need of healthcare. It's obscene.
and the resistance and resentment to even having a conversation about it, which always distills down when you scratch the surface. Why should I pay for someone else's health care?
Well, that's it. And what they'll say.
That's the kernel. That's the kernel of the issue.
But they'll call it, they'll say that we're not socialist. No, we're capitalist. And what does capitalist seem to mean? I have it, you don't, too bad for you.
Yes.
I mean, I guess that's it.
Yes. And there's several things about that. Otherwise, we could take up the rest of the show with just the healthcare issue. But what those people who share that position And often that's quite reasonable middle-class people who are not opposed to it when you first say, oh, Medicare for all or something. But when you scratch the surface, there's still that this resentment
Yeah.
about it. But the key issues I would just bring to mind is, one, Americans pay more now per capita to not have universal health care.
Right.
You
That's
would
right.
actually save money by not allowing these huge industries to siphon off all your money, middle class person not wanting to go down this path. Right? That's a major thing. You don't even have to get into the altruistic. Like, as Australians, I've never heard a rich Australian complain about Medicare. And that's because we can all sleep better at night knowing anyone can get treatment.
Right.
But don't even go there with the American psyche. Stay with the money, which is what Bernie did very well.
Mm-hmm.
It would not cost $1 more. In fact, you would save money by doing it.
Right.
Part two that I think should be under discussion is the Australian model, which is a mixed model. So anyone, cradle to grave, can have any treatment they need, or you can be privately insured. And I think that would reassure middle America too. You know what? You could keep your private insurance. And I think it's just that other people are looked after within that. You'd be paying less because it would break the stranglehold Big Pharma has on the country. So the numbers have to be crunched for people to actually get it.
I think that Americans, part of the brainwashing is that the rhetoric doesn't match the reality. Right? Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to be free. What happened? What do you mean? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We have these vaunted sayings that bring tears to the eyes.
Yes.
And Americans, I think, are hypnotized to believe that the vaunted words are sufficient. And they are never, this comes down to what you've talked about before, which is civics. Things are never broken down so that we can see where are the cracks, where's the divide actually between the vaunted language and the reality.
Yes. And in the time that we're living through now, it's never been wider.
Never been wider.
You could paste over the cracks at various different times in recent history, but not now. People are living in cars. They're living in storage units. They're living in tents. Mm-hmm. You've got the working homeless.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Well, and how about the wait, it's related, not healthcare, but it's related to sort of how people get hypnotized. Trump's golden iPhone.
Oh, no. Those messages are sent on a golden iPhone.
No. So Trump, you know how he sells everything, right? So he was marketing a golden phone. So in order to get this golden phone, all you had to do was pay a deposit of $100. And then, once the phones are manufactured and everything, you'll be one of the few that can get it because you've actually put your order in and you've put some money down as a deposit. Well, when you read the fine print, well, first of all, come to find out, there is no such thing. It's impossible to manufacture. It cannot be manufactured here. Manufactured anywhere. And nobody's getting their $100 back because the fine print says you're giving this $100 on the off chance that this thing becomes.
Will happen. Yeah.
In other words, there's your big open door, your home free card, where if we decide for whatever reason, like we wake up and we decide not to do it, or the market is, or whatever, we just don't feel like it, we're on to other, whatever it is, you lose your $100. Now, I have heard anecdotally that people are furious. He pockets because of this. $59 million from these idiots who gave him their $100 so they could have a gold Trump phone. Did we not learn from Trump wine, Trump steak, Trump college, Trump shoes? Did we not learn that everything he touches? Well, anyway.
Yes. Yes, it's staggering to me, the gullibility.
The gullibility. Hopefully what will happen is enough people will say, okay, I'm one of those ones. I got ripped off on the phone. Let me look at these other issues that people are saying he's ripping us off for, like the $20 billion from the IRS. He sues the IRS because he says that the IRS unfairly audited him and then made the audit public. So he sued his own personal IRS for $20 billion. He is both the plaintiff and the
defendant.
Defendant.
No, it's another word, but go on.
Well, he's the litigant.
Yes.
Whatever. He's both parties. Is what he's suing himself, right? And it actually looks like he will get that $20 billion. See, now that's what Robert Reich's friends need to go in there and say, look, Trump, either we 25th Amendment you, or here, you can have the $20 billion. I'm happy to have my tax dollars go for him not being here anymore. But I would hope that it would be litigated and I could get my money back in the end.
Yes, that's right.
Unbelievable.
I know. And it keeps happening. I wonder what goes on in their heads. Can anyone in the chat fill us in if you've got MAGA relatives or neighbors or anything? With things like, I give $100 for the promise of a gold iPhone and it doesn't happen. Do they look at anything else? Do they get angry, or do they just not say anything because they don't want to be seen as fools? And I don't know the answer to that. I would love to know the answer.
I would too. This is not exactly on that, but I did see a comment about someone saying that they had talked to someone from Egypt and that they are very well aware of the difference between the Orange Menace and the rest of us. I'm going to say what I've said again because I am the bad cop. I love that our overseas friends are trying to give us every benefit of the doubt and that they understand that certainly the 92% and a whole bunch more did not vote for him. But if we don't en masse on a huge scale in a revolutionary way express our refusal to participate in whatever it is he's doing, come a time when those good and kind friends from overseas are going to say, wait a minute. Wait a minute. He's the president of your country. What did you do? What did you do?
Yes.
Where did you put your money? Whom did you support? Whom did you talk to? You know,
yes, that's right.
If you can't come up with the right answer, you might as well just stand on the orange side. Oh, well.
And I'd advise any American traveling abroad, have a T-shirt made up, I did not vote for Trump, because you're going to be asked anyway, so you may as well lead with it.
Right, right. I mean, you might not want to put it on until you get out of the American airport.
Yes, well, indeed. You'd have to have it inside out in your packing in case ICE saw it or customs.
I know.
I mean, that's how bad it's got. That's how it's a fully fledged fascist regime in these sort of telltale ways. Yeah.
I know.
There's a lovely story here in the comments. Michelle says, my dentist has his own dental plan for those who have none. For $360 a year, that covers 2 routine visits, 2 emergency visits, and 20% off other services.
A lot of dentists actually do that, but you know, that's because dentists are seen as separate from doctors. So they tend not, it's like a whole separate industry.
Yes, it
And
is here too.
it's very expensive. So yeah, a lot of dentists actually do have those kinds of plans.
I think that's great. More
I mean,
of that.
the teeth are, if you don't take care of your teeth, your heart can get screwed up. So I'm just saying,
Absolutely.
yeah. All
Love
right.
it.
Somebody asked a question about, okay. All right. It's 6:40, Lena. So we need to get to this question. No, and it's my friend Aaron. Oh, I didn't read Aaron. It's not like you're not my favorite or anything. I mean, you all are my favorites. But I happen to see the question, and then I see, oh, it's still Aaron, the hairstylist. It says nobody's talking enough about the scientists. There are now, I feel like the number is up to 16. 16 scientists who have either died, like we know they're dead, or have disappeared. These are scientists who are not your run-of-the-mill average scientists, any of them. They are in the quantum fields, a lot of these people.
Yeah.
And so the question is, what's going on?
Yes.
And why is it not front page news everywhere? What's going on?
Yes.
Are they disappeared by our government as they come to learn things about the universe and our place in it, and time space travel, and after death experience? I mean, what's going on?
What is going on? So we're going to read some cards on this. Good.
Yeah, this is not our normal thing, but I thought talk to Lena about maybe picking one issue that really has stumped everybody each week that we could say, oh, you know what, let's pull out the cards and get some help.
Yeah.
So what's going on with these scientists?
And it's quite quick, isn't it? Maybe over the last couple of years or something.
Yeah. I mean, up to 16. These are people in the prime of health with a wide range of ages, both genders. Well, maybe even more genders than two, I don't know. But there's no real rhyme or reason except that they are quite high up in, places like NASA and, other places that do high level science. So I'm going to pull 5 cards and I'm just asking, what's going on with them?
Sure. So any other detail you can give us in the comments too, please?
All right. So should I go?
Yeah, you go.
Okay. So you all know I read Lenormand, and you can't read a single card. It's always got to be, it's a team sport, Lenormand. So I have the anchor, I have the house, I have the tower, I have the fox, and I have the sun. It's very clear that, an anchor is such a funny instrument. It can keep us safe, or it can keep us stuck. Here, the attempt is to keep us stuck, to keep us only knowing what we know, which is the fact that they disappeared, and not knowing anything else. I think that it is an initiative that is governmental in nature, disappearing of them. Maybe deep state, if you want to call it that. I think that who doesn't want the public to know certain things. And then here we have the fox. Sometimes I love the fox, but sometimes I don't. A fox is tricky, sneaky, nefarious, and I think there is something going on that is coordinated. This is not just random people.
No.
This is all of a piece. And what I love, though, at the end is the sun, because this indicates nothing, not that it's happy or anything, but the fact that we will find out. We will find out what is going on.
Right. Well, I got the devil, first card out, look at that.
Mhm.
I mean, really.
Yep.
um, and just to recap for those who are not tarot buffs, the devil isn't so much about evil per se, it's about holding on to old negative ideas and patterns and thoughts, and that people are essentially chained without. It's what we were talking before about the public being hypnotized by the
Right.
American narrative.
Mhm.
This is the devil at work, not some hairy toad being. It's about that thinking of staying locked in here, holding on to secrets,
Yep.
theft. And in this case, I think theft of their research.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? This is what I think's going on
That's
here.
the Fox. That's the Fox would say the same exact thing. Theft of research. Yep.
Right. And I'll leave that there while I talk about the next one, which is the Eight of Swords. With this, I think they are possibly given an option, like we were talking about earlier for Trump. You can do this or do that, but we're not leaving till you decide. And it's like that. I think they're literally tied up and said, either give us your research and work for us, or 9 eyes for you and we'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind just drawing it. Who is it? Like
Who
deep
is
state is the answer on some level, but is it international or is it the
That's a good
US deep
question.
state?
That is a very good question. Let's look. Okay,
Let's
so
have a
we
look.
want to know who is doing this. I mean, I'm not going to say, oh, it's the Republicans, oh, it's the Democrat. I think
No, 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 no. It's bigger than that, and
it's bigger
it's
than that.
more nefarious than even the Republicans. They're up front with their cruelty, their barbarity. They pride themselves in their ignorance. You know, they're up front.
I will say something about the fox. One of the other meanings of the fox, or one of the many meanings, is foreign, which could very well be an international thing. So I'm
Yes.
drawing 3 cards on, like, who is it? Who's
Who
doing it?
is it?
Again, I have the anchor.
Oh,
I have the letter, and then I have the child. Now, I'm going to draw a clarifier on the child because I think that it is okay, hold on. I think that, again, this is such a deep, deep thing. I think that's why we've got the anchor. If you think about it, if a ship is at anchor, the ship's on the surface, right? But the anchor is way, 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 way down. I think there is some sort of agreement, whether it's literally on paper or whether it's however they do it. It's some sort of I would call it a treaty, but it's kind of like the opposite of a treaty, an agreement.
Secret in some
Yeah.
way.
So I pull clarifiers on this child, and I have the dog, the ship, and the tree. I think this has been in place for a very, very, very long time. It's got very deep roots. I think it does cross international boundaries, international waters, absolutely, and that there are governments that are allied in gathering this research. And I agree with you. I think people were given a choice. Either come work for us, we'll give you riches beyond your wildest dreams, but you have to do the kind of work that we want you to do. And I think a lot of these scientists have said no.
Yes.
Or weren't even given the option because their
Yes.
politics made it clear that they would not go for that. And I think they've been gotten rid of.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I also think it's international.
Yeah.
As a lot of these things are, whether we're talking about aliens or extraterrestrial life in different forms or whatever. So here we have the moon, right? Like deeply secretive and all that holds. This is the international component. moving away. And I used some of the prediction deck. These scientists are outside the trusted circle with classified information.
Mm.
It just
Mm.
sort of spells it out, doesn't it?
It does.
And there's one more card to go. These cards, what I think they're talking about, like these are scientists who have had breakthroughs or are on the brink or have something new and valuable to add to the whole picture. That's why they've been identified.
Right.
Have become a burden
Yep.
for the deep state, let's say.
Yep.
To try and cover this up. This has gone on since Roswell and probably before, but it's like there's someone new in charge, and in the last year or two, they're acting on it. Like they might have been worried before or tried to bribe a couple or whatever, but this is a new dimension. So it has to be someone else new driving it, doesn't it?
That's
really?
why the child card was there. The child is something new. Someone that makes sense.
That's what I feel, because all this stuff has been in deep, dusty boxes for as long as we've been alive,
Yeah. But these deaths are fairly recent. This is not decades and decades of deaths.
Yes. So something new has happened. I'm kind of intrigued now. This is what happens with the cards.
Well, we should be intrigued. And
we should be intrigued as well as outraged.
Outraged. Exactly.
Are there any of the oligarchs involved? Shall we have a go at that question?
Well, sure. I mean, they're the ones with the money, right?
Yeah. And they're now see, they were never political players before. They were influencers. Give me my tax cut. Here's your bribe. Let's go home. Now they are integrated. Now surveillance is much more sophisticated.
So yes, I think that they are players now in ways that they weren't before. Here's that paperwork again. And here, this card. There's 2 men and 2 women in my deck, and I decided to separate them by age, because age, there are certain qualities that people have at different ages. This feels very oligarch-like. In other words, I have all this money. I have boatloads of money. I want to uncover the secrets of the universe. I want to own the secrets of the universe. And nobody's going to tell me no. It's that brashness that comes from having that kind of money and no constraints on you. However old they are, they could be old, doesn't matter. That's the energy, though.
Yes.
That's really
Isn't that interesting? And I got the magician. So for those not familiar with tarot, the magician is immensely powerful. And represents transformation and adaptation and all of that. But like all the big cards, can be used for good or evil.
Yeah.
Master manipulators.
Master manipulator.
Oh my God. I think we might have stumbled on something.
I think so. Well, we better watch our steps so we don't stumble.
Yeah. Don't put it in the title. I'd like to share this comment from Chuck Hepner.
Okay.
Chuck always has the best quotes. Thanks, Chuck. Our intellect has achieved the most tremendous things, while our spiritual dwelling has fallen into disrepair. Carl Jung.
He knew.
He knew stuff.
Yeah. Wait, this is really interesting. Back to the healthcare in China. This is Miriana Colton. My friend is in China right now setting up a business to assist Americans to get healthcare in China. Medical tourism, which is, of course, huge. It's cheaper to fly to Asia or Mexico and stay in a hotel than stay home. Medical tourism is a huge thing. I didn't know.
It's a huge thing. And it got pioneered by cosmetic surgery.
Yep. Yeah,
Right. So at first, because most people don't have a lazy international airfare lying around or whatever, and don't think about it. Whereas now people are doing the maths. Yeah.
that's right. All right, let's
How
see.
interesting.
We've got 5 more minutes. Is there anything else that we have not touched on that we hoped to touch on today?
I wanted to tell you about Putin's teacher.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yes, because I did ask Lena. I said, "What do we know about Putin? Is he, a little quiet lately?" Okay.
All right. Now, there was the very weird Victory Day celebrations that are normally epic in Russia.
Hmm.
We've all seen them since childhood, the tanks through the
Yeah,
street and the uniform goose marching soldiers and
yeah,
so. And it was very thin on the ground, which was expected, right? But someone thought a photo op, Putin meeting his old teacher. I don't know if she was elementary or secondary, but how old would she be if he's nudging
right,
80?
right.
Right. She's 97 or something.
Okay.
And they brought them together. The officials brought them together. And she said, "Is that you? Isn't that interesting?" Because he's famous for using body doubles. And she patted him on the face and said, "Is that you?" Well, Russia was very quick to get rid of that photo op.
Very interesting. I mean,
Is
she could have even been making a political statement. Like, I remember when you were such a cute little boy, just learning how to read, and here you are, this
and here you are as a global monster. Oh, is that you?
It could have been that. You never know.
It could have been that.
Wow.
And old people could say something like that, is that you? But it's gone viral because of the body double stuff. Very interesting. Oh, here's something else from Cunningham. Yes, the real nature of matter. We get so locked into our physical bodies, and as someone who
Mhm.
is currently afflicted with the physical body,
Yeah.
yeah, we do. Oh, that's lovely. Sending shout outs to Mexican brothers and sisters. Thank you. Yes. Well, my God. Now, have we forgotten something else? Oh, the
Okay.
supply chain.
Oh, yeah. Just a little bit of a heads up. I really feel like there will be supply chain issues as a result of this war with Iran, which I have said from the beginning was not going to end quick, fast, and in a hurry the way everybody hoped that it would. It is not going to be that way because of the felon.
Yeah.
We will have lost the war in the end. He
Mhm.
will not want to acknowledge that he's lost it, so he's going to try to come up with some way of saying it's a win. That will not be satisfactory to Iran. Not that I blame Iran, by the way, for that
Mm.
refusal, but think about the things that are not getting through that are oil related or not. And one of the
Yeah.
things that I keep getting a hit on that people need to be aware of is anything that is encased in plastic, which is so much. So, the metaphor that keeps coming to my mind is shampoo. And I'm not saying do a run on a shampoo. There will be ways to still get it. You might have to bring your own container. So maybe don't throw away the last one so that you have an empty one. But just, I think that there will be shortages. People always say, too, how long is this whole thing going to go on? How much more do we have to suffer? We have to suffer until enough of us get the point.
Yes, until it hits
Yeah,
critical mass.
until it's critical
And
mass. And it could be that we feel that kind of pinch first before this ends.
exactly, but not all pinches are bad. As my green me would say, imagine if we cut our plastic consumption by 3,000% per household, would be better off. And I remember being in Germany, maybe 1972 or something, and only the Germans could do it this way. They decided things were being overpackaged. It had moved from where you would just get your oats in a simple reusable bag or jar, and everything was being packaged in plastic. And the word went out on this particular day, no packaging at the supermarket would be allowed. So everyone would buy their normal things as the supermarket had them, and then they take them all out of the bags and containers and tubes and left it there.
Interesting. That's well,
and that's 50 years ago.
Right. Well, that's what should happen. I mean, the fact that we are as dependent as we are on fossil fuels and plastic comes from there.
It's pathetic in the modern world.
Yeah, it is. It is. But there are forces at play that want us to be dependent, because those are the people who make money.
Indeed.
Right. Well, Lena, we did it again. You guys have been great. Thank you so much for all of your interactions in the comments. It's been terrific. And please, if you think this was worth watching, recommend it to people. You can find Lena, of course, at Lena Down Under, and me here in the Company of Cards during the week. And we will be back again, Lena, next week with another fun-filled hour.
Absolutely. It rocks along, doesn't it?
It absolutely
Thank you, everybody.
All right. We'll see you all on our respective channels and then back here again next week. Take care.
Yes.